Parents of Reddit, what secrets of your children do you know that your child does not know you know? My niece thinks that if she sings with headphones on then no one can hear her because she can't hear herself. I may have contributed to this misconception. I had a girlfriend once who believed that no one else could hear her speaking when she had headphones in. And was amazed when I knew what her conversations were about after talking someone. My toddler is crouched behind the couch right now straining. I asked him if he's pooping and he said no. He's definitely pooping. My 4-year-old little girl will sneak dog food out of the bin we keep it in. Go to the corner of her room and eat it. I did this with my younger sister as kids. I genuinely thought Meow Mix tasted good but I hated the dog food. So naturally I held a dog food eating contest with my sister. The rules were you had to close your eyes and eat as much dog food that was on the plate as you could. Naturally once her eyes closed I'd scoop mine back into the bag but she'd be chowing away. Once she was done my plate would already be empty so I'd both win the contest and watch her eat nasty dog food. I was a horrible older brother. My son watches Minecraft songs on YouTube. When I leave the room he sings along and I can hear him. I'm an English teacher in Spain and some of the kids don't think I can speak Spanish or Catalan. But they usually use it to try and cheat while claiming they are just asking for a pencil or something. But I, unbeknownst to them, given each of those 3 kids different tests. Cheaters never prosper. Smart ones though. I took sign language in college. The teacher let us assume she was deaf until we had 2 classes left. We weren't supposed to talk out loud at all. When her back was turned, we'd converse and she wouldn't react. She was so good at pretending not to hear us. When she finally spoke I nearly fell out of my chair. That he is in fact hungry, he just doesn't want what his nana made for dinner. I know this because I too do not want it and every time she makes dinner he is not hungry then waits until bedtime to climb on my stomach and tell me he's really hungry. We quietly go and make sandwiches once she has gone to bed. We all know he is hungry. But it's polite so I let it slide. When I was away for a week, my oldest told my husband, who told me, "Daddy, Mommy is my sunshine." When I hit my head on a fireplace mantle, "I'm a klutz," he whispered to my younger child. "Oh no. Mommy is hurt and she is my sunshine." When he's mad at me he yells, "Mom, you aren't my sunshine anymore." But I know the truth. Kiddo. I know. Not a parent, but a teacher. The 6 and 7-year-old kids have no idea that I can see them write dirty words in their sketchbooks from across the classroom. I mean, it's not hard to see that if the word "but" takes up half your page. He smokes weed up. Guess what? Son? You didn't lose that bag when you were stoned. Daddy-o found and smoked it. My 3-year-old sneaks into the kitchen at night for snacks. He has no clue that I know he's sneaking midnight snacks of gummies and peanut butter. Replace gummy bears with Haribo sugar-free ones. Fun will be had for all. He knows now. But I knew he had a girlfriend long before he was ready or will to admit it to me. At back to school night this year I saw her come into one of his classes, see him, and get a goofy grin on her face. He rather pointedly did not look at her. I knew what was going on. Oldest son, 17. I know where you hide your weed and your porn. Who has print porn? Where did you get that? It's free on the internet. I tried some of your weed and it was really strong. Oldest daughter, 13. You're bisexual and you're having sex with a girl named Jade who likes unicorns. Dad and I hope you turn out to be LS so we don't have to worry about pregnancy. Sadly, you seem to have a lot of boys you talk to also. Fingers still crossed. Middle son, 11. You just now learned about masturbation. It used to be an act of God to get you in the shower and now you want to take 7 long showers a day? We like the quiet time. It's whatever. Dad and I had a good chuckle about it. Youngest daughter, 9. You are not allowed to have a boyfriend but you do. And his name is Nick and he's black. We don't care as long as you aren't actually sneaking out to go places. I am sad that you make so many self-deprecating remarks when you talk to him though. You're awesome and I wish your self-esteem were higher. My oldest daughter didn't really finish her popsicle. She put it in the basement freezer for later. She thinks both me and my youngest daughter believe that she ate it all. But I saw her stash it. She has at least half of it left. My 17-year-old son drank all the beer and filled the bottles with water. I didn't notice for weeks because I don't normally drink beer. When I found out, I waited until the perfect moment when he was being a total big dig to bust him. The look on his face was classic. His big dig mode attitude changed in an instant. My littlest, small in size, big in mischief, has this fancy smancy toddler chair. And when we go out, the first thing he does is come home and go sit on it and just kinda spin for a bit. The best part though, is that before he sits, he opens the drawer to the bookshelf and takes out a bottle, baby bottle. He's 18 months and totally doesn't use one, which has water in it. And he sits, sighs, takes a few swigs, and hides it. It's like a ducking old dude with a beer and a lazy boy. I refill the water for him and let him go at it. Because it's amazing. My brother plays with his sister's fairy toys when they're away. Is it not our sisters? Or are you referring to yourself in the fourth person? WTF is going on here? I guess. Yeah. Ours. I'm much older than my siblings. Though. So I tend to think of them differently. Because I'm essentially their guardian. My brother is 6. And I'm an adult. I mean, he likes to play with his 8-year-old and 10-year-old sister's toys. It's not really that secret, I suppose. But I often catch my daughter, 6, talking to herself. She seems embarrassed and says it's nothing. It's kinda cute. I do that. I'm 16. Am I weird? My oldest thought that nobody was aware that he and his best friend are doing the just friends act while exploring the idea of being more than that. I mean, it's kinda cute. They're 11. They think the rest of the world doesn't notice the way they're looking at each other or the way she libel him up and down and grin to throw him into complete fluster mode. They haven't figured out that their friends have cooperated to give them privacy from time to time, and on occasion run interference on the parents, and are fully aware that they've kissed. When he finally owned up to it in the car one day, I was like, yeah. The only folks who might not notice are either blind or in denial. My mom made me take naps when I was young. For years I'd read books instead, thinking I was being sneaky. I'm sure she knew though. Your mom didn't really give a duck if you slept or not. She just wanted to be left alone for more than 15 minutes. Lol. So this. We tell our 7-year-old that we don't even care if she sleeps, just leave us alone. My one is kinda messed up, but hey. Basically my mum committed suicide not long after my son born. My son obviously noticed he was down one grandma and told everyone it's because she's a friend of Batman and someone tried shooting her, so she's on the run. Lol. He's an imaginative 5-year-old. Edit. Spelling. I know when my kids have attempted to sneak electronics into their bedrooms at night to play past their bedtime. Sometimes I let it slide. But not usually on school nights. My parents did this for the 18 years I lived at home. No phone, controllers, or laptop at night during school. All goes in the living room. I once bought a fake iPhone off eBay and would replace it, case and all, with my phone on nights I needed to text girls or whatever. Still managed to get caught. My parents were hawks. They were too impressed to get upset though. LMAO. Not a parent. But I have a 7-year-old cousin I have to babysit often. And whenever I tell her she can't do something or that she has to ask her mom or my parents, she says she already asked. It's come to the point I don't even have to ask the people she said she asked. Recent example, my nuclear family, grandparents, and my cousin were staying in a beach house a while ago. There were 2 separate buildings, the main house and the garage, which had a 2nd floor. Purposes as a game room by the owner, but had 2 fold-out couches, so me and my 12-year-old brother stayed there. One day, I was relaxing on the second floor deck of the main house. And I saw my cousin about to walk in. I told her she couldn't go in without my brother or one of my parents because she's constantly messing with my stuff. It's really annoying. So she says that my 12-year-old brother was already in there and was going to let her in. She said this literally as my brother got back from the backyard. He heard her and we both starting laughing our asses off. It's just irritating because of how stupid she thinks we are. It isn't just me, she does this too. My 9-year-old has been hiding the money she gets from grandma, grandpa, and my wife and I, brothers or sisters. I make her pay taxes for any money earned and have taught her the various types of taxes, for example, income, gift, etc. It's behind her headboard in her room and she is doing it to avoid taxes. You definitely need to bust her one day. Get one of your friends to ring and pretend to be from the IRS. My 10-year-old swears around his friends and he does not know that I know. I have heard how he talks and it's frickin' hilarious. A foul-mouthed punk around his butt and an angel around his mother and I. Two completely different people. My 10-year-old stepdaughter said duck when she dropped something the other day. I was surprised by it as although she's surrounded by adults who curse like sailors when they drop things, she's never sworn herself. So I asked her to repeat it and she blagged and said she didn't say anything. She thinks the blag was successful. But the truth is I wasn't yet ready to reveal that the consequence for swearing in front of me would be, well, bugger all. She also stays up reading longer than she's allowed. She gets 5 minutes if she's taken an age to get to bed. 15 if she's been good. 34 going to bed early or as a treat. That sort of thing. But we've never going to tell her to sleep, and judging by the speed she's getting through books now and the way she's usually asleep with the book in her hands when we check on her, she seems to have finally figured that fact out. She thinks she's getting away with it. But what she doesn't know is that me and her dad both stayed up until 1 am plus as kids reading under the covers. And consider her hour of stolen reading to be both an important rite of passage and surprisingly restrained. Oh. I have the opposite. I know a secret that my mom does not know I know. My mom left my dad, who was emotionally abusive and controlling, in a very dramatic fashion. She basically fled while he was away on a fishing trip. He returned to a completely empty home. Ended up in the psych ward after a nervous breakdown. She doesn't know that I know why she left. It wasn't the abuse per se. She thought he was going to purchase a gun. Mom could dodge the occasional plate thrown at her. She was less confident about her ability to dodge a bullet. But she is such a good mom. Never badmouthed my dad. So she never told us that part. My 15-year-old son recently got a tattoo on his ankle. I saw because I stalk his Instagram. Haven't confronted him yet because I'm not sure what to do. I want to scrub it off with a Brillo pad. How? At least where I'm from, minors cannot be tattooed without signed parental consent and a parent present. I think his friends did it. Probably to each other. Kids are so dumb. My oldest is a massive big league to her siblings when she thinks we aren't paying attention. We have this discussion that it's important to be nice to everyone and everything a lot in our house. And children. But I know whenever my dad wakes up at 2 am for his construction working, it becomes a habit that I wake up when he does lol. I'm not sure if he doesn't know or he doesn't care whether I know or not. Edit 1. Yes, we used to share the same bedroom. Until I'm like 16. I'm not American. And it's not that uncommon growing up poor. No, I don't feel inconvenient at all.